It is pointless to resist.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a community bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
And I got Grand Admiral Franz, who's muted. That's the first one.
Hey, everybody. Oh, my God. You coming out of the thing. I didn't think I'd be muted. I just figured it automatically set me off.
Right. Well, I love it, man. Welcome to our show.
Oh, damn.
All those screams at our little special intro there that Scott put together. That was Chris, by the way, in the background, screaming the whole time. It was great. Well,
I was liking the orange and yellow tint on there. I wasn't sure if we were sunburn or had jaundice. It was pretty cool. I was digging.
Or both.
or both.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
Well,
Definite.
Of course, this is our Wednesday. You know, what did I say? Did I? Today's episode is 232. Being recorded on October 25th, 2023. We've got 1 week to Halloween, so this is kind of our Halloween, extravaganza where we just change everything. Of course, we don't have anything like scary to talk about, but we're keeping a Halloween. I see Joey.
We can bring up the sequels.
We can
have a sequel breakdown if we want. We can go episodes 8 and 9 full breakdown.
Hilarious. I'm going to add Joey to the stream here, but I think he's having technical difficulties, so we'll wait till he pops in there. But
all right,
of course. But before we get into everything, and Ernie will be joining us shortly. So all you Federation fans out there, the three of you that are here, just be patient. He's coming. I'm going to add Joey to the stream here.
Oh my God, there he is.
Joey.
So we'll wait till he pops in.
Well,
you
I
need
can hear
to
me.
lower your volume.
Need a headset, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool
People
deal.
are broke these days.
Welcome, Joe.
I love that in front of all the toys. People broke.
This is
That's why we're
why.
broke.
That's why we're broke.
Exactly.
Oh
Well,
my
before we
God.
get into our Star Wars talk for the week, we're going to kick it over to Scott because we got our Patreons, our Shadow Council to shout out because this is kind of like their episode too. So,
That's right.
and of course, everybody who's being digested in the pit. I see both of you. I see both of you guys there.
Oh, there's 3 now. Oh, we're on fire. And
Woo! All right,
on
Scott.
Wednesday. Let's roll.
Take it away.
All right. Hey, what's up, Shadow Council? Good to see you. Glad you're here. This is your episode. This is the episode we promised you. That's right. Every month you're going to get your very own show voted on by all of you in the Shadow Council, and this is that episode. So, special shout out to AJ from the Forbidden Panel, all Star Wars fans, Brandon and Anya Epler, Cliff, Crystal E, Darth Josepher, Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast, Eric Grubb, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude, Ryan and the Star Joes podcast, Gavin Connor from the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, who, by the way, just dropped an 8-hour-long Halloween song mix.
Whoa.
It's insane.
Is there a
Also,
director's cut or is it just music? Is he like talking through it, like
Just-
podcasting?
Oh, that would be a challenge, but no, it's just music. So
All right. Just
we've also got Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, and Papa Schmitty. What's up, everybody? If you're interested in joining the Shadow Council, just scan that QR code right there on your screen. Go ahead, sign up. Why not? What is there to lose? You get all sorts of perks, like stuff. So
they just got it. Look at that. They got their names
I
right on the
know.
most popular Star Wars show on the planet.
at this
True.
very moment on our channel, that
This
is
very-
right.
At this very moment. Yeah.
That's right. On our channel, the most
Oh, no.
popular Star Wars show in
Yeah.
the world
Yep.
at the moment on our channel.
You
I'm
are
the
being
most
seen by
popular-
millions right
yeah.
now.
I'm the best dad in this house right now. Right. That's how it works.
That's right. Okay, and we are currently digesting Gordon. He's in there right now. We've got Don the Dad Dorn in there, and the aforementioned Gavin Connor. So, hey, what's up, everybody? Where is everybody? It's not
They're
quite
all-
Halloween yet. They
Look,
shouldn't be out
nerds,
trick-or-treating
I know
yet.
you're listening on the replay. We're kind of sad you're not in here. You know it's way more fun when the party's packed. You
That's
know?
true.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Because,
But-
it's a conversation. We're talking. We're talking. Of course.
But we shows up to a party right on time, right?
That's
So
true. That's
I'm
true.
guessing we'll get
True.
like 30,
Fashionably late.
40 people in there jumping in, probably just have to
Yeah.
get their costumes on. I get it.
Yeah. But, that never deters us or stops us from yapping about Star Wars for an hour, right?
Never.
Or 3. Let's do this.
Or 3.
Hey!
Oh, my goodness. We could do that.
Santo
Absolutely.
1414 just jumped in. What's up, Santo?
Santo, what's up, man? So I don't know if you guys have seen.
And Andy's pandies.
Andy's
Wait,
Pandies.
Wait, huh?
Darth Pandy checking.
Oh,
in.
nice.
Darth Pandy. Dig it.
What's up, Darth Pandy?
Nice. There you go. All right, guys. Cool. As we wait for the Fallen Fett to finish his podcast and come over here. There was it's not a rumor, it's not fact or poot. It's kind of like something that's making its rounds, right? I saw that. I don't know if you guys know the director of Sean Levy. He's doing Deadpool 3. And he's doing we'll bring up his slate of movies that he's done in the past, but it's reported that he was approached to do a Star Wars movie. Now we know of only 3 movies that are guaranteed news or like official that they're in production. This one came out of left field to me. I didn't know anything about this.
Oh, I know.
It's reported that he's approached to do a Star Wars movie, and Kathleen Kennedy came to him and told him only one requirement is to make a Sean Levy movie, or Levy, right? Levy or
Right,
Levy,
right.
just to make a Sean Levy movie, right? And that got me thinking. I'm like, okay, I'm not taking it as official until it's official, because that's what we do, right? Until that's an announcement and something to show for, because we know how projects get dropped all the time. But it got me thinking, like, what would that look like? Because if she came up to him and said, just make a movie because it's you and your caliber of movie, it's almost like going to Peter Jackson, make a Peter Jackson film, or Steven Spielberg, make a Steven Spielberg movie, right? Spielberg. And I was like, okay, well, this guy we could bring up his book of work here and kind of headcanon what a Star Wars movie of this caliber would look like. Now, it's not. These are not bad, nor are they. Well, there's some blockbusters in here, right? But they're not. They're the type of movies and his credential or stuff that he does that are kind of like, hey, this is a fun Saturday night movie or Friday night movie to watch or go see and stuff like that. I never really thought of any of these movies as like, Star Wars worthy. But is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? You know what I mean? Is that sentiment right or wrong in my opinion, right? In my head, right? So it's like going with like Night at the Museum, Free Guy, Just Friends. It was a great movie. Cheaper by the Dozen, Pink Panther, Real Steel.
Well, that one and the Adam Project are the ones that stand out, right? Because I don't want a Free Guy Star Wars, I don't want a Museum Star Wars or a Pink Panther Star Wars, but a Real Steel Adam Project type thing. That's where you got your heart, your spectacle, your stuff, right? Now, yeah, for sure. That's if you're going that route, that's the kind of vibe, right? Because Real Steel, when they're looking at the robots and stuff, I don't know, I get a Solo kind of vibe in the fight scene, like Solo had, with the droids, that kind of thing, right. And I get the heart in that movie. With the Adam Project,
keyword right there. Heart.
Yeah, so if you pull that in and can pull heartstrings and give it, and he's okay. Here's the deal, dude. It was confirmed by him in December 2022, right? Okay. So childhood me is losing his shit right now. Grown up me is too, and he was reporting from a Deadline article. And then this is So this is coming up when he was done with Deadpool 3, and he finished. After he completes his work on the final season of Stranger Things and Deadpool 3, he'll jump over, right? And so that's the deal. But he does Stranger Things too. So
does he really? I didn't know that. So real fast welcoming the fallen Fett from coming over from him. But look, he's ghostly. You look very pale, sir, from your ghost talk over there at the.
I guess the next thing you're going to tell me, Mooch, is that Star Wars isn't real either.
I will. Hey. Now we're
here.
Yeah. But welcome to the show, Fallen Fett. We had Dan Levy, which is a director of Night Museum, and all the Steve. Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
His cousin,
Dan, his older brother. But we pull up the slate. He's rumored to be approached.
He's got a project. He's had a project for almost a year.
So it's okay. Well, you know what? You know us. I mean, everything is a grain of salt because things get dropped all the time.
But, but he's a confirmed project on the radar right now. And Kennedy said, I just want a Sean Levy movie. And that's the discussion.
My initial, and before I let you, because I know I talk a lot, so before I let you guys kind of go at it, I know that my knee-jerk reaction is like, you know what I mean? See his line of work, but then you start throwing in stuff like Deadpool 3. We still remains to see. Stranger Things, and then you start really looking at those movies, and I go, you know what's one thing that all those movies have in common is heart. It's got a very good story behind it, and it's one of those plots in Star Wars that makes it Star Wars is heart. There's a lot of heart to it. So, and as I'm continuing this thinking of it, I'm like, you know what, this can actually be good. He's not a name that people throw around like a James Cameron, Steven Spielberg kind of stuff, but this is something where he can actually give us a cool ride Star Wars movie now,
especially, with this whole Stranger Things. I was unaware of his attachment to Stranger Things, being a producer of that. I mean, that shows a level of being one of us, he's one of us. He's coming at it from that level. Plus, maybe we'll get his brother Dan in the show. I wouldn't mind that. I like that movie a lot. I like
they got together. We know what happens when that happens. So
right. But going through that list again, it's like, okay, I dig this. All right, now what you're saying, Chris, is it's after Stranger Things, after Deadpool 3, so we're still probably looking into 25 as far as production or anything.
I mean, had they talked about who was getting the Rey movie? Do we know? Is that Lindelof?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, who's getting the prequel?
I thought he was out.
Mangold's
getting the prequel.
Mangold's getting the 25,000 years before. Dave Filoni's getting the Mandoverse movie, and what's her name's getting the Rey movie. That's as far as been these are the three directors on stage. Here's the projects behind them. set in stone. Now,
so I guess the other things are you have Donald Glover talking about Lando still. That's still in the ethos, right? The Sean Levy thing when he's done with this stuff, and the other one. What was my other one? The Thor Ragnarok.
Watiki.
Yeah,
Taika Waititi. Yeah, but I kind of feel like I don't know. I feel like that might be going by the wayside with the 25,000 year before the.
I hope
Mangold is taking the Old Republic, not letting Taika have
you know, Mangold just came off of Dial of Destiny. I don't mind it at all. Like when I finished watching that movie, I go, he's got Star Wars. Give him a Star Wars movie. I'm like, cool with it. You know, that might not be the sentiment around, but we don't know what that's what's because of those box office numbers and all that stupid political stuff. What that means for his project, you know what I mean? Because Disney's scared. They're skittish. They drop projects on a drop of a dime. You know, these days. You know, they're not.
I think it's a lot more than a dime nowadays.
Yeah, a lot more than
$1.25. They drop
it.
Yeah, they drop it on a $500 bill immediately.
That's funny.
Overall, though, the sentiment behind the Dial of Destiny has been really positive from the fan base, from the fans that have been watching it and all that. For those who actually went and seen it,
fan base,
from the fan base.
Stare at box office numbers, they just go and they don't even watch it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem. The fans enjoyed it, but not all the fans. I think also you're looking at a very limited number of fans that are Indiana Jones diehards. You know, and the
moviegoers loved it.
Yeah. A lot of people were bitten, you know, were kind of ticked off at the last Indiana Jones movie. So maybe they were like, nah.
Well, like I said, you know,
well, and we're in a world of streaming, and if it's not a big, I mean, Indiana Jones is big. Don't get me wrong, right? But it's like it's getting dated because it is the same actor. We haven't been able to reboot in 40 years, so it's Indy, and he better only be him as Indy. So you're just kind of like, I've seen it. I'm like, I'll wait for Disney Plus and I'll check it out.
Very, very true.
Know? But I mean, I checked it out. I liked it, obviously, but I mean, I haven't watched it again, and it's been on streaming. I haven't watched it again. I didn't mind.
I watched it in the movies, and then I've watched it fully twice at home.
Yeah. I didn't even have.
I enjoyed it.
I've seen it 3 times. I saw it 3 times in the theater, and I have not yet seen. I'm waiting for the physical copy because you know I'm old. I like DVDs.
I like DVDs too, but I don't want to get up and put it in the player anymore.
I'll get the digital slip that comes with it, you know, and I'll encode. You know, I'll put that in the system. That way I'm not buying it twice.
Yeah. Joe, did you see it?
Well, why wouldn't you just buy the physical copy and stream it off Disney Plus for free instead of putting the code in?
Because it's not on Disney Plus.
Is it not, or wherever online? It's online, isn't it?
No, you got to buy it.
I was on
You've got to.
I don't know yet.
Indy?
Yeah,
the new one.
Indy? Disney Plus?
Yeah, I thought so.
Not yet.
It's been.
Let me look. I thought it was too.
I didn't.
Yeah, I don't think I bootlegged it.
Yeah, it's been on Disney Plus, bro.
You brought up his name. Bootleg. Did you watch Indiana Jones: Dial of Destiny?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
At the theater or at home?
No,
at the theater. Oh no, you got to see something like that at the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
It's not that it's not a good movie. It's not that it's like you said, we enjoy it, and we all just obviously said, hey, you know what, this is cool. It's the same dude that has the Dawn of the Jedi movie. We were just saying that date. But
it's not on Disney Plus.
No, it's the special look, the 4-minute special look. I told you I haven't watched it yet. I just keep seeing that.
Got it.
That was it.
Yeah.
But
I haven't looked, so I don't. I that's why I stay quiet. Yes. But yeah, so Disney's very skittish. It does seem though, it kind of does make sense though about their kind of like about face on content, right? They wanted to slow down on the Disney Plus shows and get back to the movie theaters, right? I mean that kind of makes me happy. I'm always over quality over quantity. That's my thing, and I don't run the business, so I understand they got bills to pay, so they're gonna pump out stuff, even though what they say they're gonna quote unquote slow down, you know. Well,
like Marvel, they're changing Marvel up, right? They're not doing specials and one-offs anymore. They're doing seasonal, multi-season stuff, not just quick one-offs. But now they never mentioned Star Wars, so I think the Star Wars thing is working out. I think they just lost their, To the point a little while ago about Disney's chicken shit, yeah, kind of, but they're just trying to protect their bottom line. A lot of stuff, right? They risked a lot of things with Marvel, man, and I don't think most of that paid out.
No, and it might be on Loki because Loki's actually pretty good. But before we get into a tangent on Loki, because I know we will, Loki is kind of bringing that phase forward a little bit closer to home, and
it's the best thing in Phase 4 besides Guardians.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I forgot about Guardians.
But what? Okay, so but like talking about Sean Levy and his work, what would a movie look like from his caliber, from his directorial, kind of like achievements and stuff? So you got like comedy is one thing, right? I mean, but it's smart comedy, in my opinion, more smart comedy, not slapsticky. Even he did Pink Panther, it still wasn't slapsticky like the old TV show. It was still smart and it was like fun and just like I said, a lot of heart. What could we think as a collective here? What could he tackle in Star Wars?
I figure I would put him. I have him in the Rey film. I don't know why. That's in my head where he should be on the Rey film, and they can handle that, and then handle her relationship with younglings, with new Jedi, with everything there as the mentor. I think I could see that kind of thing, and then watching some Jedi raise up, and go through their emotions. I think that would be the. Kids are the way in, right? Star Wars is about the kids. Everything has a kid in it. Everything's about, from Luke on,
Yeah. I mean, we got Skeleton Crew that'll scratch that itch.
Yeah.
They can have Night at the Jedi Temple.
Yeah. Well, kids from the Skeleton Crew could show up in there, and that's where you have their background, right? And then things matter later in the Rey movie, and that's the stuff I would think from him, like the Real Steel stuff, the Adam Project, the things like that, where you could get somebody actually to tear up doing stuff because you've met some kids when they were young, like Skeleton Crew.
Yeah,
they go up there and they do some damage or turn dark up in the Rey movie, and he kind of deals with that, and her dealing with other kids. I could see him working something like that. That'd be cool.
Okay.
That's probably the first time I thought the Rey movie could be cool in my head for like 3 seconds. I was like, oh, all right, yeah.
I mean,
give us a big Grogu moment in it. I'm down. Yeah.
Right, but considering, okay, so like a spin-off of that because that has that already has attachments to it. You already has
connections. No more spin-offs. It is connections. Right? So everything boom, boom.
Well, that what I meant by spin-off would be like, okay, the characters that were established, now we're continuing that. But
they'll be older, obviously, right? They're gonna be 30 years older. 35,
okay, all right,
45 years older.
All
so
right.
they'll be our age.
I know that there was. Yeah, I know in that report that we saw from him, there was a lot of Adam Driver talk, right? Young Kylo Ren Chronicle or young Kylo Ren kind of thing that he can tackle. The only reason people brought that up is because he's very good friends with Adam Driver. Which I'm like, if you're good friends with Adam Driver, doesn't mean that a young, young Kylo Ren would be even, you know what I mean? Because Adam Driver wouldn't be playing.
You'd have to go with the kid from Stranger. Yeah, the little kid from Stranger Things.
He's older. He's 40 years old already. So.
Seriously.
He was 35 in Stranger Things.
8 years between seasons. You're right. Right. My bad.
Yeah. Gordon said, of course, as long as Flea doesn't just show up.
No, we're getting a prequel.
That's right.
Somehow Flea shows up.
No, he's the most feared bounty hunter in that sector.
Yeah. Maybe he battles Anthony Kiedis, and then we go into a galactic.
Oh dear!
Right on. Here we go.
Under a bridge.
Under a bridge in a galaxy far, far away.
Just give it away.
Couldn't. All right.
Imagine all the blood sugar sex magic that would be there. Though.
Oh, that's Ahsoka next season. Ahsoka too.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Woo. But I mean, like I said, to bring it back, I at first that knee-jerk reaction to anybody who's attached to Star Wars project, I always cringe. But then I immediately go, but wait a minute, that can actually be cool.
At some point, dude, what's it matter? Because every time we say, hey, this person's going to be great, they suck. Every time we think this person's going to suck, they're great. It doesn't matter because nobody has experience doing Star Wars movies. Star Wars movies are completely different than anything else.
That's the key. You could tell me James Cameron's doing it, and I can be like, hell yeah, and then think about it, go, wait a minute.
One name is Filoni. That's it. Filoni. Cool.
I look at all these, and the one consistent thing I see is there's no consistent, other than the sequels, there's nothing consistent about it. Each one of these movies is something completely different.
Yeah.
Other than the 3 Night of the Museum movies, everything has a different vibe. Everything has a different feel. There's a couple of romantic comedies
to drama, but yeah.
Date Night is a hell of a lot of fun with Steve Carell in it. I mean, that's a pretty damn good movie.
Yeah.
Plus, you think Stranger Things, and you think of all the other shows, all the other films that he's produced.
Honestly, all you had to tell me is Stranger Things. That was it. I was like, done.
I love Night at the Museum.
Me too.
They're fun. They're fun movies. Yeah,
they are. But that's not my point. My point is the fact that everything he does is different. There's nothing. Right. There's nothing there that's a red flag saying don't give this guy Star Wars. You know.
Okay. But also, did he write all those? He could just be attached to him producer, as a director.
But they're all something, right? I mean, everybody's got something to do with something.
Yeah,
she said a Sean Levy movie. That's what you mean, you know. But
that's what I'm. Because that's what I always question. Because like there are people who write, and you have like Dave Filoni, right? He's going to write and direct this movie. Sean Levy might be just like, here, I'm tasking you to direct this movie, but like Dave Filoni wrote it, and it could be a complete different like. You know what I mean? Like he's attached to Stranger Things, but he didn't write those episodes. He directed or produced those, but the Duffer Brothers is the one who gave him the direction to do it. So to me, sometimes there is a like too much trust that we put into somebody who I understand like the feel and look of it has to convey, but the subject matter has been pre-written. Okay. So when Kathleen Kennedy comes up to him and says, I need this movie now, is it the what he draws from those kind of like scripts that he gets, or is it something that he puts to pen to paper and like said puts that heart and soul into movies? I'm
sure he's in the writing team on it, and like and when you're directing, you have imagine the writer does most of it, right? And then you come in and put your tweaks on it.
That's it's interesting. No matter what, how you look at it, it's interesting. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the Adam Project?
I have not.
I haven't. I wanted to, but I just didn't get around to it.
It's strong. I think that's the one we want to look at as a gauge.
Okay.
Ernie, you've seen it. You said, right?
Okay. Yes, but it also has to do with what's his name being the star of it. His movies are Ryan Reynolds has this character that he portrays a lot in his, right? And they say The Rock a lot. If you put The Rock's 4 movies in there, he's dressed the same way.
Gotcha,
Which movie is it? And you're like, it's not the same movie. So the persona that he does now, Deadpool is him. That's his heart. Ryan Reynolds is like Deadpool, right? But these other ones that he has now portrayed as him is he just plays that character. So you get that very strongly here. Having that kid being able to pull that off and actually be him was really great. And I do like the story in it. So it's per se, it's not, you can't look at it as the Ryan Reynolds thing, even though it was though still. I still enjoyed it. And Mooch came in that you said with heart. I feel that one does have heart too.
Okay,
right?
That's what I'm saying. That's the one. It's got futuristic scenes, right? It's got good special effects. It's got a crazy premise on time travel, which I don't obviously want to deal with, right? But it's got heart, and you're gonna cry during that movie. And that's what I want a Star Wars that does that to me, man.
Yeah,
I like getting teared up on something like that.
Yeah.
Remember, Last Jedi, dude, we were hitting each other. I'm like, oh, I'm about to cry. Here we go. And nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And, you kept getting like, and you're getting blue balled in your eyes, and it sucks.
It just gets sucked out the window.
That was it. That was the scene. Oh, they're about to kill her.
Yeah.
They had the balls to do it. Oh my God.
Yeah. What the hell did that? Yeah. What did I
just died in bed? And I'm like, oh man.
That's it. Yeah. I totally agree, and I get it. And like I said, that's the overall theme from this dude. I'm in.
Check that flick out. That's a good one.
I'm going to.
So are we thinking that if he does it, we'll end up getting a Ryan Reynolds starring role in Star Wars?
He's also really good friends with Jackman, so in real life, not just because of the movie. We became friends in the movie. But
to answer that, before Gavin Conner is actually, if it's a movie, he's in. We're ready to go to movie again. Absolutely, 100%. I'm ready.
Let's do.
That comment about Ryan Reynolds being in Star Wars, that's tough for me personally. I'm speaking for myself, and I know that there's big names in Star Wars, but Ryan, like Ernie just nailed it. When you put The Rock in there, you're getting The Rock, but you're getting The Rock, everything that he's done. And Ryan Reynolds seems to be the same character, and no matter what. I mean, even in Deadpool, he's still Ryan Reynolds in a lot of ways.
He just gets to be,
I can't have him come on screen, and say, "You want the lightsaber up your ass? Come on!" And everybody laugh like,
the whole sarcastic, passive aggressive like that.
I could see him and Jackman as stormtroopers.
If you put them in stormtrooper armor, or you turn them into aliens
and bantering.
I'd hate it, but I'd accept it.
I wouldn't hate that. I would love Ryan Reynolds and Jackman.
I hate cameos. I hate celebrity cameos. and anything Star Wars. I take my Star Wars a little too. I just don't like. I mean, again, that's me personally. When what's his name, 007
like
was a
Jack Black
stormtrooper
and Lizzo.
No, I hate that fact that they're.
What about Ted Lasso and Mandalorian?
No, I don't like it.
No, stop, dude. You didn't like the speeder bike Yoda Grogu stuff with the punch.
Oh no, see, I didn't know it was him. I didn't.
That's
know
what I'm saying.
Put
him in a helmet.
If I didn't know it was them, doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. Put a bucket on him.
Yeah, when it's deliberately like someone comes in a frame and it's a friend of a friend. Like if Ryan Reynolds came in the bar, took a drink and left, I'd be like, damn it. You know what I mean?
But what if he was an alien?
I'm gonna know Ryan Reynolds under a helmet or an alien.
Yeah.
You're gonna know.
As long as I don't know. Again, that's just me, guys, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? But
it's a hard one. That is. Ryan Reynolds, I think, would be one of those too much. And then when it's after it's too late, Chris, is when you're like, okay, even with the bucket on, I still knew it was him. Like, and now he's there forever.
Yeah. Papa Smitty, you didn't like NC.
Daniel Craig was in
that's what I'm saying. I don't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't. I think this was a cut scene in sync, right? It was in Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Yeah, that was cut. That got cut.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They were just going to be,
Daniel Craig was just a stormtrooper,
and it sucked because they got cut out, and so bye.
And Tom Hardy, or was that Daniel Craig or Tom Hardy?
It was Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Tom Hardy was the one that was in the Last Jedi. No, he was in the Last Jedi. In the cut scene in the elevator.
In the elevator.
The cut scene. That's right. Let me out of here and give me a blaster.
Horrible scene, by the way.
Craig. Yeah. Oh,
horrible scene. Daniel Craig. I didn't know that was him until after the fact, and then I'm like, okay, again, it's fine. But to me, it's like I don't know. I like Star Wars. I don't like Hollywood.
If I was a director and I had a whole bunch of stormtroopers at my disposal, and all my homies wanted to be in Star Wars, I'm like, come on, dude, we're gonna have 20 of you mothers. Come on in. Everybody's a stormtrooper.
You had Kevin Smith voicing a stormtrooper in The Force Awakens. You had what's that?
Poop.
You said poop. Oh, you had Prince, the two princes, Harry and what's his ass? They were the executioner stormtroopers in The Last Jedi. I mean, you take a celebrity or somebody, you stick a stormtrooper helmet on. Doesn't matter who the hell's in there.
If it's not,
and I'd have to be up there with Kevin Smith as just a voiceover, because then immediately be like, "There's Ernie in Stormtroopers here. There's a dead giveaway." So
okay, now Gordon brings up Ryan Reynolds could voice a sarcastic droid. Okay, Taika Waititi did it. You have what's his name? K2SO. I mean, you got these awesome actors that do it, and if it's pivotal to the plot of the story, I'm cool with that. But for some reason, I have a problem with putting your Hollywood buddies in Star Wars. Do that with Marvel. Do that with everything else. But Star Wars is a little. That's just a pet peeve of mine. Not saying it ruins it. I'm just like one of those things where I don't.
No, I get it, man. Because I'll tell you what. Even to this day, Samuel Jackson stands out.
Yeah.
Right. He's the to me, because I mean the other guys were stars from the prequel or the originals, but we didn't know as kids, right? Those are the first time we ever see these guys. That's who they are. Nobody in the sequels really that I can think of.
It's going to happen
besides the original heroes.
Yeah.
And
it's going to happen.
He just stands out as our big actor. He just stands out.
It's going to happen. Obviously I had no say so in what, I'm just going to have to like roll my eyes and protest, and then just carry on.
And the fact that most of these people, like you're going to see crossover with Marvel more and more. I know they're the back people, right? But Kira's jumping over again. We're going to see,
and that's fine with me. That's okay.
I'd rather see Kira than see Super Skrull or whatever the hell she was at the end of that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Marvel
train wreck there. Secret Invasion.
Yeah, but I could be talked into it if Ryan Reynolds wants to play a stormtrooper. I could be talked into it.
But I don't think he'll bring. That was a good question. We got us all riled up on that question.
I know, right? It's just
such a basic, no rumor, no theory, no nothing.
No, not at all. We could start one. We could start a rumor.
Let's do it.
Yeah, everybody knows them. Why can't we?
Yeah, no kidding. But we wanted to bring that to the forefront because again, it's nothing's official until it's official. I know Chris said something about it's in a slated announcement. He said it was okay. Just like last week's with what's his name, Steve Urkel. He said it that he's in it. It's like okay, so we can kind of stamp it official.
Yeah. The thing
just
is,
waiting for it to be,
unless it gets canceled. That's the trick.
That's
so
it. Official until Disney gets scared. Yeah,
nothing's official until we see it.
Yeah,
like in a theater or on TV, because we've seen things get canceled before they get released from companies.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's a newer thing. So we don't know.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So there's still again they did come out and said all the projects that they announced, none of them has been like stamped canceled. So
could you imagine like if we had a situation like Batwoman,
Batgirl?
Was it? I didn't know which one it was going to be. So
it was Batgirl.
Yeah. Could you imagine we had that situation where they had a movie completely filmed, ready to go for Star Wars,
ready to go, and they just
for Star Wars, and
all they got to do is press play.
Yeah, and then they take it away and say nobody can ever see it because of the bankruptcy rule, so it's destroyed, gone. You can never see
Solo
it.
almost got that treatment.
How mad would we be if we knew there was a Star Wars filmed movie? DC is enough, right? And I was okay with Batgirl not coming out, but
it's a good question.
I'd lose my stuff, dude.
Yeah,
good or bad, I want to see it.
Well, it brings up the whole explosive internet thing of like they robbed us of something we've never seen. You know what I mean? Like we'll have that sentiment of Disney robbed us of this movie because they pulled it and shelved it and destroyed it.
I never feel robbed on things like that aren't written or aren't filmed, right? But if it was to that point, like Batgirl,
but if it was ready to go,
and if in DC's on DC's side, that was a Batman film or a Superman film or a Green Lantern film,
Static
and we
Shock
never
was
got to see it.
Everything was like
If it was filmed, it was canceled, but it wasn't filmed.
Right.
But if those things were filmed and we got canceled, I'd lose my stuff.
Like Flash almost got pulled like that. Yeah.
Right. And you're talking Batgirl. Not only was it a Batgirl film, but it also had Michael Keaton returning again as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. And they said What's His Nuts was Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser was like Oscar worthy.
Who is he playing?
Firefly.
Man. And we'll never see it'll never see the light
of
day.
They robbed
never
us
see
of what
him even in the costume, dude. We'll never have anything.
I think what would bug me more, Chris, is that the fact that the studio was is if Star Wars became turned into that kind of turmoil where they have full projects ready to release and they just yank them, threw them in the trash because of reasons, because they felt it was not good, because it was whatever, or political climate. They pulled it. You know what I mean?
Or if it just sucked, I guess, right?
Yeah, it would suck, and I would lose faith. And I don't, like I said, it almost started with, like I said, with the rumor canceled this, and they announced this, and they canceled that. You kind of lose faith, and they're like, you know what? I'm almost ready to just kind of like, stop believing everything they say. This is why when I bring stuff up now, I'm like, look, until we see a preview on. But again,
that's what
this day and age, like what you said, I think what you're going at is like, is even that safe?
Yeah, I think that's probably
nope.
I think that's the safe spot when the trailer hits. I would say that's probably the safe spot, because remember, Boba Fett got canceled and they had a trailer canned at a celebration or a Comic-Con, right? Do you guys remember that?
Right.
Before all this, when Disney bought it, and the other director that was going to do Boba Fett he was there, and they were going to come out and do a teaser, and then they canned the whole thing while he was there. What kind of mess is that?
I don't think he knew.
So had they played that trailer, we would have had a Boba Fett movie. Since they stopped it before they showed it, no Boba Fett movie.
But this, I mean, that again, growing up, the way we all grew up, that was unheard of. But now we're in this new age of Hollywood that they can pull movies with a full on trailer, weeks before a release. And that's what's kind of like, why? I mean, how did it get this far to pull it? Like, what turmoil is going on? What epiphany did you guys have that this is going to start?
But luckily we haven't had that. We've had revisions, right? Solo was close, got revised, everything. So everything right now, I think they're being careful. So I don't fault Disney for being careful. These are $1 deals, right? I mean, it's business.
The one thing as a fan, I do want to get back into the theater. I love Disney Plus, I love the Ahsoka, I love all that stuff, but I really do want to get back in the theater.
I'm ready. 3 or 4 films coming up in the next 12 years. That keeps us set for a while. And we got a podcast for another 12 years, guys.
Yeah, man.
We're going to be sitting here at our 20-year anniversary.
I think we need some wins in the theater department. You know what I mean? Yeah. We've got it in Disney Plus. Yeah. I think we need a win, and that to me it'd be very right that ship.
How much do you think they're crapping their pants about it though? They have to make sure that first one out the gate is the best damn thing they
of course
do. And right? like no kinda. It's got to be the balls out. It's got to be flung.
That can work for them or against them,
It's always a point of view, because I remember whenever The Last Jedi was first hitting, I think it was Bob Iger said it was the best Star Wars movie he'd ever seen. And, it's you don't know if that's the propaganda spin machine or if that's truly what he felt. How, he's the one writing the checks. Kathleen Kennedy's the one hitting the, play button. what
you got no
is what they're
no,
seeing.
Cool, just do it.
Yeah. Is what they're seeing the best ever? Is that going to translate to what the fans think is the best ever?
Well, hopefully they just trust the director, say this is the best ever, and then let us say it. And that's a better route because they haven't been doing that properly, right? Just the director does it. That's what she said. That was the quote from Sean Levy and about Kathleen Kennedy. She's not going to bug him. She's not going to be involved because that's what they asked him. Is Kathleen Kennedy up your ass, basically?
Right.
Yeah. No. She told me to be in this. She wants my movie to be a Sean Levy Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
That's how it went. So he's not up. Supposedly, she's not up his ass, Michael.
So that's the planting the seeds, right? So if it's like the best thing we've ever seen.
No, I'm just saying that it just has to be. I'm just saying number one, the first movie.
No, it has to be. It
has to erase every bad taste from everything we've had. Like every fan. 80% of
the confidence.
It'll never happen to all of us, but it's got to come out where like everybody say, "Whoa, that was pretty good." Like it's got to be like Rogue One leaving the theater type of feel.
I'm still blown away by the number of people that bitch and moan about Ahsoka. It's like,
I don't even.
What did you watch that what did we miss that you saw, almighty Star Wars fan?
Yeah,
I have a little bit on that. It's the lack of animation. It is. And the only reason I know that is because Luke's watching it. My son up in Oregon's watching it, right? And he loves Thrawn. He's read the Thrawn books, is semi-familiar with the characters. He knows who Ezra is. He lived in this house, man. He doesn't know who Ezra is.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But he's not invested in that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So as he's going, he said something, and I'm like, well, let me explain it. And I went through. He's like, oh, man, that makes it way better. I'm all, yeah. Because he didn't understand why the Anakin episode was so great.
Right.
He didn't understand. He didn't get the same vibes. He didn't understand those battles. He didn't understand the history with Ahsoka and Anakin. He didn't understand what, that whole thing about how she was having trouble. And had he seen Rebels where she realized it's him and then the mask broke and all that stuff, that really, really matters.
Yeah.
100%. to the emotion on it. And he's all, it was good, man. He's always cool to see, Anakin again. He's all, but I don't get it.
But now that he sees more ties into this bigger world and thing, then it makes it like,
yeah. And we did that. There was like 6 or 7 points in the series so far, and he's only on episode 6 that I was clearing up. And he's like, oh man, see, had I known that, dude. And I'm like, I get it. And that's making me realize, you know what? That's why we have such a split in the fandom, because how everybody's animation, right?
Right.
Not half the fans watch it, half the fans don't. Probably less than
they're watching the movies and they're basing everything off the movies because Star Wars it's a theatrical IP or a medium. And so
our people are watching.
Or listening to us. Telling us what's going on.
The people that we're surrounded, of course, we're in everything that comes out. We consume it, and we put it in its place, and it makes the world, it makes everything that you're watching just that much more special. Like I say, when things come on a screen and we're flipping out, it's because it's like, holy crap. But there's a lot of content out there for people not to, or to get lost and be like, that's a cool scene, but I don't understand why it's that important. Right.
Yeah. So, like it was a super cool conversation to have. Like it was a neat father-son Star Wars conversation to have. But I'm like, oh shit. I can't, don't get me wrong, we have a podcast, but we can't touch everybody that's in those chats and the people that watch and the people online and stuff and say, and they're really the ones that matter more than us because there's more of them. Yeah. Right. And if they're confused and things, and it gets back to Disney and they're watching, the numbers are low, that could screw up our whole plan.
Sure. Wow. That's why I say, and like what you're saying is like, they have to hit a home run with the movies things. And it's like, and like I said, it can go, that attitude can hurt them or it can work towards their favor. Right. So the hurt towards their favor is meaning like, bring in people who are smart about like Dave Filoni, really, really ask him questions. Bring in George Lucas if you have to. Listen to Sarlacc Digest. We can give you guys the clues and the hints to make a good start. Yeah,
bring us in. I will come and consult at half price of whatever you're paying any writer. Oh, I shouldn't do the writer right now because the strikes. Any producer or director, I will come in.
I just want merchandising rights, and then I'll give you everything.
I'll do it for free after the strike.
After the strike. But that they need to hit a home run, and what we got Star Wars Celebration 2025 in Japan. I think that's when we'll get any kind of announcements. We're gonna go all next year with just Disney Plus, which is okay. I mean, we're doing it. We did that this year and stuff, so it's gonna be a while before Disney gets brave again.
I think they're not as timid with Star Wars, not as Marvel. I think they realize they broke Marvel. I think Star Wars is on a cool path if they can keep it, and
they're going to make more money in the movie realm anyway. So
yeah, exactly. Get us on the big screen.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm ready for it.
Keep raising Disney Plus prices, and they'll make all the money off of Disney Plus, and movies won't be anything.
I mean, it's what, $14 right now? 14 with no ads, 15.
I don't know.
I mean, for our entertainment,
I get paid annually. I don't know.
No, so right now annually, it's going up major. It was around $75 to $80 for annually, and now it's going up to $130.
What the F?
Yeah, so it's like, but it becomes to like what, $17 a month? Like,
I'm just even that. 130 is not 130 is 10. You know what I mean? That's pretty.
There's going to be options. Well,
130 is $11
to what
a
it
month,
was though.
Yeah,
it's difficult, and they're throwing in ads and stuff now.
So it's so funny.
Go ahead.
Let me
beginning price of it. It's going to be.
It's still cheap though.
Commercials and everything. So
you go to a movie.
It's going to have commercials to go to a movie for that one.
They're slowly have already started it.
The ads and then the password sharing. They're
If you turn on something, they're giving you a preview of something else right before it starts now.
No ads.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with trailers in the beginning of movies. I'm cool with starting out like old VHS. You know
sure.
Go ahead and roll me through a couple. Make those your ads. Let me get my stuff ready. Let me get my drink. Let me get my sandwich. Let's come in here. Let's roll.
Hey, man.
Even do it with that. Even do it with that classic coming soon to theaters or coming soon to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Go retro with it.
I love that. As long as they don't do it mid-show, because that's what drives me nuts, especially on a movie. Because we've talked about it, right? I hate being pulled out of my immersion. I think that's probably the problem with cameos for you, right? Because you're immersed. And that's it. What was that? You know, and the same with me. Like I'm immersed when I was. That's why Luke were talking about. I said, dude, I was in, and then when Thrawn showed up, Elon trumping it, and I was like, oh man. I said it took me out for a couple of seconds, and he had the same problem when he saw pictures, right? Yeah. When he got to the episode, he's all, "No, I'm cool with Thrawn. The character's there, right?" I'm all, "Yeah, totally." Course. It just takes a minute because your eyes aren't adjusted to it.
It takes a minute, but I still think it's cheaper than a Happy Meal at McDonald's these days. So it's our entertainment. You know what I mean? So way cheaper than cable, but okay. So let's veer into our second topic, which is our Shadow Council, which is our Patreon, revamped and everything. We put a poll up there and gave them some show topics to vote on, and they voted, and we have our first show topic of the month.
That's right. The Shadow Council topic of the month. Theory crafting. How powerful would Anakin have been if he'd won his duel with Obi-Wan?
Very.
Now this goes in the line of how we used to do this like wheel spin, and we kind of just like head canon and stuff up and in theory craft. So it's a cool little conversation, and just how we just kind of did Sean Levy with like what would his movie look like, right? If Anakin won his duel with Kenobi, now you gotta set the scene is he is Darth Vader at that point. He's just not Darth Vader in the suit, and he will never be in the suit. It's Darth Vader, the strongest he's ever been as Anakin, as Anakin Skywalker, and he still has the Emperor behind him. He still has the Empire, and he still has the notion of saving Padme. Now, taken from that, we take it from that and go, okay, he just killed Kenobi. Boom. Mm-hmm. Now, how does that work?
He is dark as hell now.
Yeah.
Once you take out Kenobi, that changes it. There should be no redemption.
That solidifies his descent to the dark side.
Yeah. Hang on though, because at this point, it might solidify his rise to the dark side, but Padme is still alive and she's still pregnant with twins. There's nothing saying she has to die of sadness because Anakin is still alive.
Okay. Well, how does that work then, Scott? Because
he takes her.
Yeah, well, she's fainted on the platform. Mm-hmm. He kills Kenobi, comes back to her. Now she gives birth still and dies still. I mean,
I don't know. Does she? Does
she
die?
I don't think so. I don't
either.
I think
I don't either.
I think he revives her. I think Palpatine he goes back with Palpatine with her to get help to try to save her. They save her, or Palpatine makes sure she dies. right? Either way, Palpatine has access to those kids.
The kids,
yeah, and Vader has those kids.
I think Palpatine's best interest is for Padme to die, to keep Anakin sad and dark, right?
I was almost going to let it exist, like having her there, but thinking in my head, and then she goes and fights it, kind of like Leia style, like she's the leader of whatever. But then I'm like, that won't work. It won't work because then he's just going to be. He needs her to die. He has to have her die.
So if she dies but the twins are born, what does Palpatine do with those kids? Because Anakin does not have control of his life. Anakin is sworn Sith Lord. Those kids would not get trained. Would they be acolytes of the Sith? Would Luke and Leia end up being little inquisitors, basically? I mean,
I don't know. I think this is my opinion, and you guys can add to it or not, is that I think that if Palpatine created Anakin through the midichlorians and all that stuff, right, and he created this thing, and he did not get destroyed by Kenobi and have like half the man he used to be kind of stuff, and he becomes Anakin as powerful as the Emperor wanted him to be. Like, this is my dude, full power, and there's no stopping him going forward. Is there any is the Emperor looking that far ahead and like, I'm gonna take his kids and become even more powerful, or does he just take Anakin and run like him and me arm in arm, using Padme's death and the twin and it doesn't know his twins at the point, pregnant Padme, and be like, this is your keeping you in the dark side, because that keeps him there.
It kind of, because that's what he uses the helmet for, right? A lot of that and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I suppose so.
Sorry, Papa Smitty about that. Yeah, Palpatine would just eat them.
Yeah, I think what he would do is
he's a Democrat.
They would raise them, get them up, train them in the dark side, right? And then like proper Sith, let the strongest survive, take them out.
Would Anakin want that for his
doesn't matter. He has a master and he's dark, but he has. Remember what did he say?
I don't think so.
He knows he could overtake him. What do you tell Padme? I can overthrow him.
Sure. That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, but I don't think he meant it.
Would Anakin take Padme to Palpatine, or would Anakin keep her himself? Would the two of them? I mean,
but the only reason he turned is to save Padme. He didn't turn because he's a Sith Lord. You know what I mean? He didn't turn because he's a dark side user. He
turned
anybody
before
else.
She died. He turned before
he did turn before she died. He has her. He could possibly protect. He could take her somewhere to get treatment. I mean,
to Palpatine.
Maybe to Palpatine, maybe not to Palpatine.
But he has the power. He has the power to save people's lives, he thinks, right? So he's going to bring him straight to him. That's where they're going to go. He does, because he made him live. I mean, he wouldn't know that.
But in the dialogue between Anakin and Palpatine, right after he says, after he seduces him, Mace Windu's thrown out the window, everything's done. You're now, you're knighted Darth Vader, or whatever he says to him. And then he goes, together we can find the way to save Padme. He admitted right then and there that he did not have that knowledge, that, together we could find that knowledge to save Padme. I mean, would he take her?
There's no Jedi.
Is she that far gone, lying there passed out, that he would take her immediately to Palpatine and say, save her?
Yes. Yeah, because Obi-Wan took him straight to that to the asteroid planet.
She was going to die in childbirth. That was his.
Oh, that was his dream.
Oh, yeah.
So, they're also severely premature too.
Yeah, no matter what, she was going to die in childbirth, and if he didn't have that magic pill when he turned dark to Darth Vader, and he found out you couldn't say. What do you mean? Wait, what did he say? You mean we have to find this together? We had to go to the library that I just destroyed and do this. I could also turns on the Emperor right then and there.
Right in that moment when she dies, right? Like when she goes and the Emperor's sitting there, kind of like when he's smiling at him when he's going, no, that whole thing. And he has that little smirk.
Yeah.
Vader turns around and chokes him the hell out.
And do you think
there's been comics where he tried to do that? There's been comics where he tried that, and Palpatine put him in his place, though.
As Vader,
but
as Vader with the helmet.
Full power.
As a full power Anakin Vader.
Do you think Anakin kills the Emperor? Like he's powerful enough to kill him?
He kills the Emperor, but as we saw from Rise of Skywalker, you kill the Emperor in anger, and his soul, his essence, enters your body. So it's the whole.
Well,
was Darth Bane really Xana in the end? That the whole rule of two.
I hate the Rise of Skywalker.
I do too, but you got to take these things into consideration because
you're right. You're right.
Does exist.
But
does Anakin become Palpatine then?
But when you do that, do you lose your own identity or you just merge with it? You
just have the knowledge. I think you just have the knowledge of all the Sith.
I think you merge with
it. You're right, because he does. They all say, "I'm all the Sith. I'm all the Jedi."
Yeah.
I don't think Rey has all the.
It's not. The Emperor is not the same dude as the very first Emperor. You know what I mean? Like, is that what you're getting at?
Or is he Bane? Is he Revan? Is he everybody involved? We talked about this, right? But the spirit.
Is whoosh, whoosh. They've never clarified. And if you're listening to what he says in Rise of Skywalker, then at least as far as Palpatine goes, he has that ability, right? He can transfer his essence, as we've seen. He can transfer his essence over into clones.
We don't know because we got one line of dialogue and nothing else that.
Well, I mean, that's what he said. I think,
but you can't throw it out.
But I don't hold on, because we can't have everything spelled out for us, though. Return of the Jedi, we see the blue thing come up. He says,
but you're basing it on. You're basing. Okay, I
based off seeing and getting it talked about, though. I mean, because he like, to Scott's point, there was a line. He said, "I'm all the Sith. Strike me."
He wanted Rey to
gain my knowledge.
The Emperor wanted Rey to strike him down so his essence can go into Rey, right?
Yes.
And then he goes, "Oh, look it, there's a dyad here where I can just kill the both of them or something like that." And then
he's just rejuvenated.
And then he just becomes rejuvenated. So there's a lot of shit that was thrown in that we don't know. That is like there's a lot of stuff that we can't just say absolutely this happens. Just like this is when I'm all the Jedi. Now, is that literally all the Jedi, or is that just like all what they have lived? I'm living.
It's like
they have.
I think it's access to knowledge, and
it's
the
tough,
whole
right?
idea.
I mean, there's no.
There's
a
difference, though. So. There's a difference between the Jedi and the Sith. The Sith is the Jedi is all about knowledge and defense, and the Sith is all about me, and I want to live forever and all that. So I don't see them as the same concept, all the Jedi and all the Sith. But I do think that we have to take into consideration that Palpatine did want her to strike his body down so his essence could come.
Yeah, I think literally Palpatine has knowledge and stuff from all the Sith.
Okay.
Right,
but also
I think that.
So
Rey just has the backing of all the Force users.
Yeah.
Like when they're talking to her, that they have her back.
Right. So if Anakin would have turned and struck Palpatine down, would that be playing into Palpatine's hands? Because Palpatine wanted to have the strongest Sith apprentice possible. He thought it was Darth Maul, but Darth Maul was a rabid beast. He knew it wasn't Dooku. Dooku was just a means to an end while he groomed Anakin. So but also you're become this thing.
Right. But you're also looking at the Emperor as a broken entity or a broken thing, and then trying to come back. So like at that moment,
though, at that point, he's all scarred.
He's mortal. He's mortal.
Right. No, I get that. No, I get that. But like, Anakin defeats Kenobi. He takes Padme to and say for Padme still dies in childbirth, and the Emperor still hides the fact that either the twins were born, and hides him from Anakin, because that's exactly what he would do. He wouldn't tell them, or they actually just all die, and that keeps Anakin in power. But we're talking about like Anakin is full. I mean, I don't think anybody can defeat Anakin as Vader in his prime, like the purest of Darth Vader. If he strikes the Emperor down, if Padme, if he hid the kids from him and found out that the Emperor did not save Padme, then I think Anakin goes to attack the Emperor and tries to take over and do that. And because of the dark side, he tries to be too much for him to be like, I'm just going to kill him and move on. It's like, kill him and rule. Now, when it comes to the fact, like, if you strike the Emperor down, you become the Emperor. Yes, in a sense, Anakin would, because he struck down and became the leader. Now, physically going into whatever, but it didn't happen in Return of the Jedi immediately, right? Anakin or Vader threw him down the shaft and his essence escaped. It didn't become Vader at that point. I don't know. There's
because he was no longer his apprentice either. He wasn't doing that to take his place.
He wasn't.
But the reason why he wanted to do it in Rise of Skywalker, because he was broke. He wasn't a strong thing, and he found a way to become powerful again. It wasn't,
Okay, there's a mess there. There really is a mess.
It is a mess, right?
It really is.
But I mean, if you just face down Mace Windu, and your lightning hits the lightsaber, it's reflected back on you, start turning into hamburger meat. You look in the mirror and you say, "Oh shit, This is what I look like now. Strike me down. I need a new body.
But that didn't happen until Rise, and he had all this
I'm
opportunity to do it with
I'm just
a lot more.
No, yeah,
I'm just saying, he had more opportunity besides Rise to do that. But I do want to get Ernie's and Joey's opinion on this too, because of course we can hog the conversation here. If Anakin killed Kenobi, what happens to, let's say, Darth Vader? He's Darth Vader at this point.
Joey first.
Well, he obviously wouldn't be half man, half machine.
Right. He's Vader in his prime.
Vader in his prime. I mean, you guys already said everything, so it's like, what more is there to say? He'd be the most powerful dark Sith Lord that nobody would be able to stop him. And my only thing, you guys might disagree with it, but my only thing is, if he were to defeat Kenobi, I could see him being dragged down by, you know how the darkness enters you. The same sadness he had with Padme, I could see him being dragged down by the same sadness that he just killed his best friend. No matter what, that was his best friend.
You're muted, Chris. That's two.
It's only two. Yeah, Papa Schmitty made a point in there too, where he argued that he thinks the yelling "I hate you" was his last like unescapable piece, right? Like he was kind of back and forth. He wasn't always yellow-eyed during the fight, but the "I hate you" kind of turned him Sith forever. It would be this, to Joey's point now. Like I was saying earlier, the Kenobi kill would be that point, the no turning back. Now I am Sith. So it's either her dying right away or him killing Kenobi. Her dying again after that, it's just gravy, man. Just like it was before. Right, because she died after he got his legs chopped off, so it's the same situation.
He probably didn't want to help him.
When your adrenaline's going and you're battling somebody, your adrenaline's going. But then when you actually do severe damage on somebody or you kill somebody, it's all of a sudden, bam! What did I just do? Just like he did with Mace Windu.
So you think there's remorse there? Yeah,
I think he didn't stop loving people. He still loved Padme.
I mean, he just killed his best friend, his master, and it's like.
And the reason,
we don't see it that way right now, but we see it because the other way around happened. He was the one that got struck down, so of course he's gonna be filled with hate and anger because he just got struck down, and he sees it as betrayal from Kenobi.
Yeah, now, and it's also
if it was reversed around. For me, I would feel like he would be like, "What did I just do? I just killed my best friend and my master."
You're right because. He didn't. This wasn't a vengeful. I mean, this was a heat of the moment fight, right? Obi-Wan and Anakin, because Obi-Wan showed up on Mustafar with Padme, and that made Anakin flip out. And he's like, "I got stuff to do. We got to save your life. I got to kill the separatists here. We got to end this war." And now I got Obi-Wan here, and it just blew up. Like all the.
Hey, what's he doing on that ship with you, lady?
Yeah, exactly. That was a long trip. I mean, it took me a while.
He just sat in the closet there. Please.
Yeah, so you're right in the fact that fight was a fight of passion. It wasn't a fight of mission. It wasn't a fight to take power. It was a fight, brother on brother, and
family love. Just a wild, just madness.
And in this scenario, Anakin kills him. And I think you're right. I think eventually, so like Palpatine's plan wasn't to save Padme. Even if he could, I don't think he would. He didn't want Anakin to have any kind of redemption. He wanted Anakin to be isolated and tortured for the dark side for his purpose. Padme out of the picture and Obi-Wan out of the picture, he's all his. Anakin is full on him now. He'll have that inner demons, but there'll be nobody to bring him back to the light side. There'll be nobody to bring him back for redemption.
Right.
We'd have a true villain in Darth Vader. And to me personally, Anakin is such a great warrior. I don't think anybody could, fight him
at that point, because we were talking when he was pretty much in his prime.
At that point,
he was Darth Vader, and he lost to Obi-Wan. But now with the added anger after Kenobi would have beat him, then he would have destroyed everybody because he would have extra. But he did lose to Obi-Wan.
Yeah. All right, Ernie, go for it.
I totally agree with Joey's point because it's very pivotal to the story of creating Darth Vader and what happens to continue our story.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from him getting struck down by Obi-Wan to losing Padme to getting the lie of she died and no, there wasn't nothing we can do. Everything that is what wrote him. So if you wanted our Star Wars movie and that was that he won against Obi-Wan and there is no Obi-Wan, then I feel that pregnancy would have to be that he then hides Leia, the Emperor, because they didn't know it was twins.
Right.
And so they hide Leia
or Luke,
and then he only gives him Luke, and they have Luke, and we can get Luke's story. But this whole time, you might get Emperor favoring Luke more, and that makes Vader kind of, I guess you could say,
Anakin knowing that Luke survived. Is that what you're saying? Like, but not Leia?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Right. Well, he doesn't know nothing about Leia. Emperor stole Leia. So this can set up the whole Luke and maybe gets a form of jealousy somehow. And we do get Luke, like he's lost or whatever, and then ends up as a kid when like the Emperor tells me he has all these plans. Maybe Vader gets rid of Luke, and with the hiding of Leia, you actually get a real story that could be the Rey, as far as the Emperor hid her all this time. That's, she's a Palpatine, but she was really a Skywalker. Like, if you wanted to roll it into now, you could play it in that sense. Of,
I just don't
like
see
that.
the Emperor preserving any kind of thing. I think he has his soldier in Anakin as is.
I think he always had to do something, though. He always has another plan. We saw Dooku, we saw Maul, we saw everything.
But
in
that's
the
all
background
before
the Emperor knew, as I did, if Anakin had any offspring, they would be a danger to him. Right? So what does that mean? Does that mean that he would kill them because they'd be a danger to him, or he would train them?
Yeah, because it's selfish. And then you have the whole thing. If he could be turned to be a powerful ally, can it be done? He will do it or die. Right? He will join us or die.
Die.
The whole that it's all in the dialogue there. To me, it's like things to me. It shifted when Anakin lost the duel to that's the pivotal ground zero moment, because when he lost the duel, that's when the Emperor had to go into like Plan Z. Okay, so but if he won the duel, I think he has his plan. You roll credits, and I don't think there's any redemption story whatsoever. That's it. That's why that fight is so important.
The fact that Palpatine was willing to let Vader try to bring him on, during the originals, that to me said, and that's when he's 23, 24 years old. He says at birth he would absolutely train them both. Without a doubt, because he has them a fresh slate, man. They know nothing else, but they're going to live in a dungeon, be trained by some Sith droid and some acolytes, and come up really evil and bastardly.
So, like, Lucas kind of screwed it up by saying he was created by midichlorians, and then kind of insinuated that the Emperor is the one that did, because it's like, because even when Dooku died, and Grievous was talking to the to Palpatine, right? He says, "Soon I will have a new apprentice, more powerful," and whatever. Because knowing that he created Anakin from day one, but now is the time to strike. I have to get into his head first, and it's like, it's weird, right? Because if you created it, then we always thought he didn't know he created it, and he discovered like, oh crap, my experiment worked 20 years ago, or so many years ago.
Okay, here's my question.
Sure.
How do I phrase this? Okay, with the new Rey movie that's supposed to be coming out, right? She can say all she wants. She's a Skywalker, but she's a Palpatine.
Oh,
yeah.
I can argue that, but yeah.
Who's to say that when she killed Palpatine, did his essence escape again, or did he just melt away? I can't even remember really how he.
I mean,
God,
that's the thing.
Right. I think he just
that's the thing.
It destroyed the essence.
He killed himself.
Basically overloaded. Right?
Is there any way that essence could have went into Rey because she's a Palpatine, and then later on, when these movies happen, he somehow comes out either through Rey or through maybe she has children later on? Or
I would say that's it. I hope there's no more Palpatine per se, but I wouldn't mind the kids or her having a dark side. Because
she had kids.
Yeah, that was the
Palpatine.
That was a character in Rise of Skywalker. She was afraid of accepting what she was suspecting, that she was, when she was told that, she was afraid that was going to be like, oh crap, I'm going to turn bad, so there is that, and there is that struggle with that, what you're talking about, Joey. Now I know, like, it's funny because, like, when we talk about the essence and we talk about this, the Emperor dies on the Death Star, and his essence goes to Exegol and tries to regroup. The Voldemort, he goes over there and he tries to feed on unicorns. And he's not dead, so therefore he didn't go into Vader at that point. You know what I mean? He escaped. Rey kill, or he gets destroyed. There is the essence of the Emperor still around, and that just creates this whole rinse and repeat that Balin's talking about. I mean, it can go a whole.
He does
thing,
say
right?
it goes. He does say it's going to be a never-ending thing, right?
Yeah. So this could.
He does. Yeah.
There's so much, and that's what. Okay. That's what's great about Star Wars is that there is no black and white answer for we can debate this and we can headcanon, and a lot of things can work in our talk and our studies and all this stuff, right? And then there's certain rules, right? Like, okay, it was never really explained to us that there was an essence. We are saying it that there was because we saw the blue light. He's on Exegol. He's broken. He's this shattered clone of the Emperor, right? You know, whatever. I like that idea. You know, that I guess I think that's what George and Dave Filoni sets up. It's like you have that idea, it works. That's exactly what happened. And if you have the opposite idea, he's like, that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? I know that they think that way, and we kind of think more linear. You know, we like it to have like, all right, here's this A and B, and this we draw a direct line to certain things. You know, but there's still too much information that still needs it. And I understand that we don't need everything spelled out for us, but at the same time, when we're talking like this, we are assuming a lot.
Yeah, but we would have had to before. I mean, it can't give you a book for everything. We've got to say
we did it before the prequels.
Yeah, exactly. We just got to let it be. You know, some of it you just got to accept and deal with and move on. And
that's it. It's fun.
Of them, right?
Yeah.
And that's the easiest. And for right now, that's the explanation until proven differently. Because
that's what it is, right?
Yeah, but
there's an essence until it's proven there isn't an essence.
But at the very least, there's worry about everybody, and this is back to the poetry stuff with Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Luke's battle was finding out Vader was his father and there was this part about the dark side not getting there, right? Ahsoka's battle, her demon was, is she going to turn into Anakin? You know,
right.
Rey's issue was, is she going to turn into Palpatine, or is she going to turn evil in the end there? But she can still be battling that demon until they get rid of it. You know, it's just
absolutely.
I think that's the thing that he should carry on and have them turn it. Now, I don't want Palpatine back. I just want.
Yeah. In the Rey movie, Yoda will come to Rey and says, "Oh, just because you took the name of Skywalker, you are not."
Yeah, something like that.
I guarantee it'll be something like that. Yeah.
I really don't want, when they do it, I don't want Hamill, right? Am I a dick for that?
No,
I don't,
because I'm in the same boat.
I want Hamill to play Luke. I don't want Hamill to play Hamill. And that's the problem I'm having watching Mark Hamill do a lot of his things now is he's playing himself, playing a character.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Scott.
I'm
the same way.
I mean, he was in the latest, the Fall of the House of Usher, and it was the least Mark Hamill has ever really been since, you know, the old days. And he even kind of disguised his voice a little bit, so you really couldn't hear it. Yeah. And it was great. You could tell. Oh, he can act right on. He's not just Mark Hamill.
Like Ernie said on his on the Fallen Fett Chronicle, it says, "You're Luke Skywalker. You just Mark Hamill plays you." You know that's like a very true thing for a lot of people.
And that Force Ghost Luke was not right. But see, there's the thing is, I want
the Last Jedi Luke was right though. He was Luke Skywalker in the Last Jedi.
I agree.
He was Mark Hamill in the other one.
I agree. Yeah, so to this now, you're going to end up with two Force Ghosts if you use Luke. I would rather Anakin jump in somehow because since we got Hayden Christensen all over the place, I would love to see him describe.
Makes sense if it was Anakin.
But you can't have them both together because you can't have.
Could you imagine? Oh, Dad, you're here again. God, won't you ever?
I know, right?
It's my own Padawan.
I've always saw Star Wars as Anakin's. When the prequels as Anakin's story, not Luke's story. So, and that's why I was like, again, glaring mistake in the sequels was not using Anakin at all, not even by name, by nothing.
It's the rise, fall, and redemption. Right?
Yeah,
and that's what it was. The problem is they cleared all three up.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't have that movie "Don't Be a Menace" where the dad was younger than the son.
That would be very weird,
right? Since they've established Luke as a Force Ghost old guy, they didn't go backwards and I guess that's because Anakin was a Jedi last in that form, and he was a Jedi last in that.
Again,
form.
we can explain things, you know.
So I guess it would be that would be kind of one of a Sean Levy comedy moment you could have is like
that's true. Yeah, like he's an old man's talking to me.
This is my son. You know, and my dad over here. How old are you?
Yeah,
but it's true though. Star Wars is so much better when Hayden Christensen is in it.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, it's like we didn't see what we had in the prequels. I mean, Scott's giving me that look, but I'm serious. For me,
No, I agree. I had no
enjoyed
problem
it
with
more
Hayden
when he's there.
100%.
I really didn't have a problem with Hayden's. I really didn't have a problem with Hayden Christensen.
I do not have a
didn't know him
problem with
before
Hayden
that.
Christensen now. I've explained it before. It's all the direction. It's all.
I didn't know him before when the prequels came out. So the wooden acting, it was all around. Nobody knew who Hayden Christensen was before the prequels. It's like he wasn't a name, right? And so when you have like Natalie Portman who's acting just as bad, I had no problem with. It's like, okay, it's across the board. You know what I mean? That's my point. And like, so like Hayden, I never had hate for his whining. When people see his whining, it's like that was the character. It was Anakin. I never had a problem.
Hereditary.
I never had a problem with it. I really didn't.
Never the whining. It was never the whining. Move on. Yeah, it's the dialogue and it's the delivery.
So,
but anyway, he's great now, man. I'm all
fantastic.
He's gotten to the very comfortable with it where we see it now in the role of Anakin. So every time he pops up, we're just like, oh my god, this is great. This is more Anakin than Anakin.
Way, dude. We've had him live action flashback Vader. Broken.
Cartoon.
This is what sucks about how when someone doesn't watch the cartoons, like my daughter, like Monique, okay, she loves Hayden Christensen and she loves when they show him live. But it sucked because she couldn't really enjoy Ahsoka like she wanted to because she wasn't real familiar with the Clone Wars stories and the Rebel stories, so she couldn't really be like in it. She was in
but
it.
That's where you blame the parents. What went wrong, Joey?
You know what? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it.
Right?
Oh, you can. You just thrown in jail. That's all.
Yeah, you get sent to Child Protective Services.
So, I mean, I've sat her down and I've tried watching them, and I've even told her of how to watch them. Her and my other daughter. And again, it's like you can only tell them where to go get it, but they have to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, look, let's just like anybody comes to anybody around says like oh, I like Star Wars but I don't love it. It's like, hey, that's fine, but now I know how to talk to you in public. Or like when I see you at someone say I know how to talk to this person, I know how to talk to like Chris, like when I talk to see one of you guys, I know exactly where I can go versus somebody who just seen Star Wars and liked it and you have that conversation with. I never try to influence it and be like, because you start to explain things and sometimes it's silly. But when someone doesn't get it, it's silly to them because they're just moviegoers, But when I explain it to you guys, you're right in that level, So it's like,
that's it. It was a cool. it was a cool talk with my son, but at the same time, I'm like, man, if this was anybody else and I was having this conversation, I'm a 46-year-old man. This is wild,
Like, why is Chris hugging that guy? Because they get it, You know what I mean?
So if Anakin wins the duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi, what's the consensus? He is like the ultimate, Force user.
My thing is, you fade to black, you roll credits. That's it. That's done. It's done. It's done.
But the rest of it is Empire driven, and he's probably the Emperor at some point.
Yeah, all the good guys die. There's no the Empire rules for a millennia. Until the Jedi come back. I think that's how George Lucas set it up, where it's that pivotal that he loses that battle, and that's pivotal that he has that redemption. You know what I mean?
He never
taking it away. Yeah.
He never seemed like the master manipulator, though. Would he have turned? Do you think he would have eventually killed off Palpatine to become Emperor? Do you think just having Darkseid in you makes you strive to be the top dog?
Since he said my new empire,
that was posturing.
It could be.
I think he was Sith.
No, I honestly think the Emperor becomes more powerful to have Anakin or to have a full apprentice that he built from ground up. And like I said, you roll credits. There's nobody's defeating that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anakin Prime and Emperor Prime, or not Prime, but like full on.
And it might take a while too, because that's what Sith do, right?
In a millennia,
exactly. And they take their time, and eventually, when the apprentice becomes strong enough to take the master, they're supposed to challenge him.
Yeah,
supposed to challenge
and get their own apprentice.
Right, like Bane was waiting for Xena, to challenge.
Do you think Anakin would have found a way to recruit Ahsoka to be his Sith apprentice? Do you think? If he were not the horror behind the mask, Do you think there's a way he's still looking like Anakin, still talking to her like Anakin, could have possibly swayed her to the dark side?
No,
knowing what she went through.
I think it's kill on sight.
I think she they're battling. They're battling, and he's taking it to grid ahead.
He's running right after her, man.
All right.
They've never battled,
especially at that point.
Yeah,
at that point, right? If he can find her in the first 3-4 years, toast like immediately.
You know why? It's because he's going to get that notion of the Jedi have caused all this, not the Emperor, not the manipulation of Palpatine this whole time.
He would try,
but here's nobody going to
be left to tell him that. You know what I mean?
Once you're read into the entire plan, I mean, because once you're read in, because I mean, Dooku was in on the plan from the beginning. He knew that the Palpatine was playing both sides. There will be a point where Anakin finds out. I mean, how soon do you think it is before Anakin finds out that
only if
Sidious was playing both sides?
Only if the kid survived. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Emperor would let the cat out of the bag. He would have manipulated the fact that Padme still died in birth and her child with her like that. He would still stage that. Because I don't think, like I said, I know that you guys are saying because that's the last loose end to keep Vader powerful, and his plan from day one is for the Emperor to keep Anakin purely dark side or whatever. If you have any loose end or any kind of possibility of the truth coming out, I think that's where it loses. That's where it unravels, and that's exactly what we did see play out.
And you do, because Yoda is still alive. So does the execution of Obi-Wan Kenobi mean the death of Yoda eventually?
Eventually, I think he just dies on Dagobah by himself.
Oh, that's a good.
Doesn't the Emperor consistently send somebody to try and kill?
Yes,
Vader?
Yes,
yeah,
yes, constantly.
He's getting tested all the time. Yeah. Oh, everything's a test for them.
But again, that's that scenario. That's when he lost the duel. I mean, again, I
think that's when he's a broken man.
I think the Emperor decided to test and to find different ways because Anakin failed in a way. Vader failed. He almost got himself.
And he feels him like, because even in the comics, when he meditates, he sees and in the books he remembers the clones. He thinks about Ahsoka. He thinks about Padme. Yeah. When he sees the handmaiden, all that stuff. He's still got Anakin's still in there as much as he says he's killed him. Right. Yeah. Even when he talks to Thrawn, you can tell when he says that the Jedi is dead.
Now just not really throw a whole monkey wrench in the whole thing.
The Emperor just jacks with him all the time just to keep reminding him, you're Vader, dude. You're not Anakin.
I'll throw a whole monkey wrench in the whole fade to black credit scene. It's just like, well, just have Obi-Wan as a Force ghost come and tell him that everything that you did is for this happened. Padme was still pregnant. And that's it. Boom. There's your unraveling.
But that's still unravel. Oh yeah, they can't get involved like that.
Go ahead. And if you want to follow everything that George set forth, he can't become a Force ghost. He hasn't gone through the trials yet to become a Force ghost.
Well, then Qui-Gon's seeing the whole thing, and he can tell Anakin. Like, I mean, Qui-Gon is obviously can commune.
Still, Yoda has the ability to communicate through,
and Yoda has the ability. I mean, like I said, there is plots to unravel of the beginnings of this unraveling.
They might have aimed more. They might have aimed more at someone else, like say a Kanan. And look for somebody as a New Hope. Maybe tried to pull Ahsoka back in and talk to her. Maybe Yoda would have.
God, this has all the makings of a pretty epic what if scenario. And
a reboot, right?
But also, like I said, the rebellion. If Kenobi didn't succeed at that battle, it unravels the entire. The rebellion would have failed. Alderaan would, of course, Yavin would have been destroyed. Everything. There's no Luke Skywalker to kill the Death Star. I mean, there's this. It's just a whole fate. Like that's why I said it's the 1,000-year rule of the Empire. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
until
because Leia wouldn't have been able to take any plans anywhere.
Nothing. It's all done.
Yeah. Alderaan probably would have still existed. They probably wouldn't have destroyed Alderaan. There wouldn't have been a reason to destroy Alderaan,
right?
Unless Bail Organa, really ramped up.
Eventually, the Empire would have destroyed every planet that
because at some point they would have had Death Stars.
Yes, Death Stars for every system. Yeah. I think that was mentioned somehow somewhere. I forgot what it was. Was a Death Star for every?
We did that. But we knew they made two. But we knew they had two going. So
Yeah,
Death Star 2 was being built while Death Star 1 was being built.
Yeah.
If the old legends are to be believed, there was like 4 or 5 Death Stars out there.
Right.
There was the Maw, and
it just makes sense, right? To keep a system in check, you have a Death Star right there.
As much as you hate it, that they keep using the same thing, it's like it's the best weapon. It just sucks they keep getting blown up.
So it's a bigger Death Star. Oh.
Yeah.
Somehow a Death Star appeared. Oh.
Now we made them smaller on Star Destroyers. They just
Yeah.
can't get out.
What if they went
out of
the
atmosphere.
opposite way? Yeah, they did,
Yeah.
right? They made them smaller.
or whenever they brought out the big battering ram cannon on
it's Death Star
Last
technology.
Jedi, it's miniaturized Death Star tech. What the fuck? What are you talking about? That's
So it's a
stupid. They're not
Big
gonna.
kyber crystal. Yeah, I
So
know.
it's just gonna blow a hole in the door. It shouldn't just wipe out the whole mountain if it's
You would think.
miniaturized Death Star
You would
tech?
think.
Why is it
It's-
melting yet? It just blasted.
Right?
You should have said it's a big lightsaber. That's what they should have said. It's a big
Man.
lightsaber.
How about just it's a big fucking gun?
Yeah. Just use
a
a
laser gun. It doesn't have to be Death Star tech. Jesus Christ.
This is why J.J. Abrams is in hiding. Okay, this is not doing it.
That one wasn't his, but yes.
That was Ryan. That was Ryan
Yeah.
Johnson. One of many Ryan Johnson bad
Okay, yeah,
decisions.
Ryan. Yeah, this is why they're in hiding right now. So, all right, guys. Well, that was fun because it gives us out of our. No, it's not even. It gets us in a comfort zone. Really, it really does. Because we, like I said, we can all go there. We can all like make a side story and just change the whole world.
Makes you question everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
Thank you to our Shadow Council for picking that subject, and of course, we'll do it again next month. So, anybody who's interested into joining and finding out what the Shadow Council is all about, of course, the link is in the description below, and go check it out and see what it's about. You guys are involved. You're part of the show now.
That's right. A new topic will be up on Monday to vote on for the end of November, I believe. We might have to wrap that one a little sooner because I don't know if we're going to be podcasting on Thanksgiving week.
We'll come up with a schedule. Yeah, we'll come up with a schedule. It's either right after it or right before it. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you guys in the pit. Everybody who's listening on audio, thank you so much. You're not forgotten because I see you guys. I hear you guys, or you hear us. One of the two. I don't.
Do you
really
hear them?
But they leave comments on the SoundCloud.
We definitely hear RFB. Rural Farm Boy makes it known.
Yeah, exactly.
He does. He's definitely audio listener.
We got on Spotify just for you.
That's what's up, dude.
That's right.
Yeah, but thank you everybody for even just sitting there listening to us and hitting that like button. That is the biggest support you can ever give a podcast and the whole experience. So like, subscribe, tell a friend. Of course, I'm going to kick it over to Ernie. If you guys are all good and cleaned out and ready for Halloween next week, everybody be safe, of course. Watch a bunch of horror movies.
Check your candy.
Yeah. Razor blades and apples is a thing, man. Ernie, we got to get you to 500. I'm pushing for you, man. I think you had a great topic today. It was so much fun, dude. Like, it was so much fun just debunking your ghost stories a lot. I mean, they're so easy to.
Damn.
Okay.
I'm in a haunted room right now, dude.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could. Yeah. Whatever, guys.
Booch is a hater, Joey. We
EMP
had full
stands for electric
exclusive footage tonight, and this guy was talking about a dust ball. And fisheye lens. Please go watch the rewatch. Watch it during the day.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. No
want
matter
you to
what,
get
it's a lot
scared
of fun.
at night.
Yeah.
Disregard Moocher's comments, please.
I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only one.
There. Yeah, I have a list. I know who it was.
I made your list. Dang.
Yeah.
He's checking it twice.
Oh yeah.
I know you're not going to come looking for me because I live way over here, and no one comes out this way. So
yeah, all the monsters on the way to you. No, I'm not going to go try and get out there. Be like, meet me at the mall.
Maybe I'm trying to suppress it, Ernie. Like not get the truth out.
I don't know. Maybe something. You sitting there in the middle of the woods with your creatures all about you.
No one's knocking on my door. Trust me.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing's on your Ring camera except a lot more. Maybe that's a thing.
Except me out there.
Yeah. For sure. But thank you guys very much for being here tonight. We greatly appreciate it. We did have a full house. Please go tell your friends to jump on that replay crew, rewatch all these episodes. And we have a ton more of content for you all the time, from reviews to everything. You can check all those out on all our social medias. from TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and then Facebook. You know, it's just a place, a community for all Star Wars love, and that's kicking all the time, 24/7. So please go check that out as well. You can find us right here in all our names there on basically all your social media as well too. Darth Moocher, the Artist Scott Solo, Darth Dad, Bootleg Joe. There it is, right there. Your mom's favorite podcaster.
Damn
right there.
Straight.
There it is. That's him. Just
That's
look
right.
it up.
It's true.
It is.
Don't type that into Google though. I'm just saying now. But
oh yeah, that's my other page. You guys subscribe to that one. $4.99 a month.
I am. I just changed my credit card on it. So
Thank you.
nice.
I appreciate.
You'll get a string tank and some tight shorts, some booty shorts next month.
Dude, I need some more because I wore the last ones out. They weren't very good
orange.
quality. So.
Orange.
Yeah, they were
October.
orange. They were orange.
October.
So,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Hop on that. When you're done with Chris's, then make sure you join our Patreon and become part of the council as well too, and jump in on this next topic for November. Please, we would greatly appreciate it. And thank you to our sponsor tonight, Tashi Station Emporium, for all your figure stand needs, plus much, much more.
Got some really, really cool things to share with. It's taken a long time, but it's worth the wait. And I will go on. I'm going to go on a tour with it. So don't worry.
On the tour, we can't.
Yeah,
wait.
I'm going on a tour with everybody's podcast, and I got a showcase. I got a big showcase.
We cannot wait. Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys for being here, and we will see you next week.
Cool. With that,
Tashi Station Emporium. Did we already say Tashi Station Emporium?
Yes,
just saying that.
It's right.
And he's going to go on a tour.
He's going to go on a tour.
He just did the whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Taylor Swift
tour.
going on the Tashi Station tour.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to go on tour with
didn't
all
know
the
she was-
products.
It was time
Fucking
to remain geeky. We forgot.
Hey, if she's taking over football, she's able to take over Star Wars next.
That's right. Then we get.
All right.
Oh God, that would be awful.
Yeah.
I will walk.
Keep it
away.
nerdy, everybody.
Cool. And Chris, I know you have a catchphrase too. No? Oh, Chris is gone.
Oh,
All
he's
right.
gone.
Later, guys.
Yeah, Chris. Good night, Chris.
I have to go too.
Later, guys.
All right. Wow, this is how the Sarlacc Digest disintegrates right before your eyes, listeners.
This is how democracy dies, one at a time.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.